So what do you think?
Look at that big bowl of nanner pudding. Woo, son. I might need some help with that. Ooh. Somebody's got to do it. Might as well be me. Oh. Let's see what it tastes like. I don't know. I have to try it again. Mighty good. Mighty good.
Does it taste homemade?
Tastes like Melita'S homemade. Such torture.
I can't figure out why he don't get fat.
Good.
Did the cookies get soft inside?
Perfect.
And it's cold. It ain't too sweet.
Oh, perfect.
All right. Y'all try making one of these. This was easy. Letting it cool down was the hardest part, wasn't it?
Oh, man, I had to wait all afternoon.
So y'all like, subscribe, and share my channel. And I'd appreciate it. Melita'S Homemade at YouTube. It's Sunday afternoon, and I decided that I would make Howard a banana pudding. And I thought I would show y'all some of the tricks with this banana pudding. Now, this banana pudding is not a box pudding. It is made in the microwave, the pudding part of it, and it's very, very good. The recipe calls for a half a cup of sugar, a third cup of self-rising flour, 4 egg yolks. So I'm going to show y'all how to separate eggs, and I hope this works since I'm doing it on the movie. Used to, I would take and do my egg yolks from shell to shell, but I found out if you just crack your eggs and run them through your fingers like that. These are fresh eggs from our hens. They just started laying last month, and actually they've been very, very good. Okay, there's the second one. If you watch now, watch real close. I just crack the egg, and I'm running it through my fingers. See, this egg yolk is wanting to bust right here. You don't want to get any white, yellow in the whites if you can keep from it. Try to keep from it, because that will keep your egg whites from getting fluffy. But since these are fresh eggs, they're a little bit different than store-bought. I think I got just a little bit, and I'll show y'all how I'm going to take care of that. I'm going to take this eggshell, and I'm going to dip that out. You just want to keep as much of that egg yolk out of the whites, because I'm going to use this for the whites for my tartar. Here's another one. These eggs are really tough shells too. These eggs are room temperature. I usually keep them on the counter as long as I can. I see I'm watching this one. You do it real slow. Just let it run through your fingers as good as you can. There's the third one. Here's the fourth one. These are not real big eggs. I could use 5, but I'm going to stay with the 4, just like the recipe says. I think I'll have enough. Sometimes I add an extra egg because these are more like a medium egg than a large egg because they haven't been laying very long. So wash your hands really good. Get that egg off. And wash them really good before you do that. You don't want those in. Where is my rag I always keep? That's my flour sack towel. I love these things. Okay, I'm gonna move these eggshells out of the way. And I'm gonna move the egg whites out of the way for now. Is that 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because one busted. Okay. Put this one back. Move these out of the way. That's our topping. That's our meringue topping, which we'll do later. Now, this is 2 1/4 cup of milk. Now, I use canned milk and a little bit of whole refrigerated milk because I didn't want to open another can for 1/4 cup of milk. So, it'll be fine like this. And there's our sugar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to whisk these eggs a little bit. Do y'all like banana pudding? I love banana pudding. See, I'm whisking them up because you want them kind of broke up before you put them in the milk. And whisk that together. The sugar and the egg yolks and the milk. It also calls for 1/4 stick of butter. Real butter, not margarine. Not that fake stuff. And it calls for 1/3 cup of self-rising flour. This is what your thickener. What you're doing right here is making a pudding, really. I got to get my vanilla extract out, too. Mix that in there good, because you don't want a whole bunch of lumps in your pudding. Don't y'all love this whisk? When I get my Amazon store open, I'm going to put links to all these things that I use, because I got a bunch of gadgets. I'm one of those people that like stuff that make life easier and faster. Okay, I'm going to go and get the vanilla extract. Wouldn't be a good vanilla pudding without vanilla. Okay, it calls for a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Well, I'm going to just guess on this, because even if I put too much, it ain't going to matter, because I like vanilla. That makes it gooder. Gooder. Then I'm whisking all that together. Now I'm going to take y'all over to the microwave because we're going to put this in the microwave. All of our ingredients are mixed real well. And we're going to go to the microwave and then we're going to cook. What you do with this is you're going to put this in this microwave 3 minutes at a time. Okay, I've got it all mixed up good. I'm going to set it in the microwave, and I'm going to do, well, I'm going to do it the fast way. That's 3 minutes. You're going to do 3 minutes at a time. You're going to take it out, and you're going to whisk it after it cooks the first 3 minutes. Then you put it back in there for 3 more minutes. It's just tempered right now, so I'm going to whisk it. Mix it really good. Used to the way I made this, I cooked it on top of the stove. And you can do that, but the problem is lots of times it'll stick on the bottom of your pot. And if you're not careful, it'll scorch. You have to stay right with it and stir it fast the whole time. This way, you're cooking it and you don't stand as good a chance of scorching it. Okay, we'll take it out. That's the second 2 minutes. Okay, it's getting thicker, but it's not there yet. Starting to feel it heat up. See the color? Get more yellow. See? Okay, I'm gonna put it back in there. Another 2 minutes. Another 2 minutes, and we'll be right back. Okay, that is the third 3 minutes. Okay, now it's really getting thick now. So that's a total of 6 minutes. I actually think one more time it's going to do it. But I'm smoothing it out. See, it was real thick. And now I'm smoothing it out. Looking more like pudding. I think I'm going to do, I don't think I'm going to do a whole, actually this might be good. It's not a pie, it's a pudding. And that does look like pudding. So that's a total of 6 minutes. I'm gonna bring it back over here so y'all can see. 6 minutes in the microwave. See how thick this is? And when it and it's really hot right now, so it's gonna cool down and get even better. It's creamy. It's not grainy. Just whisk it as much as you can to make sure it mixes good and it gets really good and creamy. Okay, and I'm going to try to scrape down the sides as much as I can because I'm going to put plastic wrap over this while it cools because I don't want a film to form on the top of it. What will happen is you'll get a thick film on the top because you've got eggs in this. It's like with any gravies or anything like that. You know, when they start to cool, they always get a film on the top. Watch it want to stick. Pretty hot. So I'm going to stick it down right like that. Should have sprayed it, but I didn't. Okay. Let it cool. I'm going to set it right over here to cool. I'm going to put all my dirty dishes away. And I'll bring y'all right back. Okay, y'all, now I'm going to show you how to put this pudding part of the banana pudding together. I'm going to pull this plastic wrap off of this pudding. If you can see it. Right here. Put it over here out of the way. I like to see a pretty pudding in something like this. This bowl's a little bit big, but I think it'll be okay. I'm going to put a couple of spoonfuls of the pudding. It's still warm, it's not cold yet, in the bottom of this dish. Whoop. I'm sloppy. Just a couple to get it started. I'm going to tell y'all something. This smells so good. Now, I got to admit, I did taste it a little bit. It is good. See how rich it looks? Very, very yellow. Okay. Then I'm going to put a layer of cookies, I think. These are vanilla wafers. Some people use yellow fingers. I don't. I like vanilla wafers in my pudding. And the reason I'm putting it on top of the pudding is I like for my vanilla wafer to soak up a little bit of the pudding. That's why I don't want it too awfully thick. Okay, I got a layer of that. Then I'm going to put some bananas. These bananas are starting to get spots on them because I've had them since Wednesday. And they smell good though. They're nice and ripe. Perfect. They're sweet. And I just take and cut mine up in slices to cover. I suppose you could have put the bananas before the wafers, but I never do. It's just the way I always do it. My mama used to make banana pudding just about every Sunday. She'd cook a big dinner when I was a little girl, and she made hers on the top of the stove from scratch. With no box banana pudding in my house. And her brothers and sisters would come over to eat. She was one of 8. They always loved her banana pudding. It was just something that they thought she should make all the time. She had a pottery bowl, whatever you call it, that she used for her banana pudding. I only made this for 2 people, or just a small one, because there's just the 2 of us. And I don't even really eat much sweets anymore, so Howard will eat most of this, but he will love it. He won't complain a bit. He loves food. He's skinny, but he likes to eat. Okay, I'm going to put some more vanilla wafers. Now, this is better if you let it sit in the refrigerator and get cold all the way through. Now, when I was a kid, my mama served hers warm. But my husband likes everything cold. He wouldn't eat it warm. So, I'm going to chill it for him, because that's the way he likes it. Okay, and more bananas. Can y'all see how I'm doing this? I hope y'all try to make one of these. It's not hard. I'll put the recipe in the description box. It's not hard at all. You can watch the video and it'll show you how I do it. But you do it any way you want to do it. Okay? All right, now I'm going to put some more, the last of the pudding. I hope I got enough to spread all the way across. I'll make it work. Have y'all priced vanilla wafers lately? That was one of the cheapest cookies you could get when I was a kid and a few years ago, but now it's not. And I think they make them smaller. They're not as thick as they used to be. They're still a good cookie. It's one of my favorites. I can just sit and eat vanilla wafers with nothing, or vanilla wafers with peanut butter. It's hard to beat. Rinse my hands. I'm going to get a knife and see if I can't spread that out a little bit more, or another spoon. That's what I get. And clean off this spoon. It ain't got to be perfect, as long as it's good, right? So you got that right like that. I'm not gonna put any cookies on that part. I might should have got a smaller bowl, but I didn't. Okay, now I'm gonna put this in the sink because it can be washed. And we're gonna set this out of the way and get rid of all this garbage, put it in the compost bin. And I'll bring y'all back and we'll make the meringue. Now we're going to do our egg whites. I'm going to mute part of the sound on this because this mixer is pretty loud. Now I have a KitchenAid, but I have this hand mixer for little jobs like this because I don't want to drag out that big KitchenAid and have to clean all that up. This is a lot more handy. Okay, you see how my egg whites are getting frothy? I'm going to add some sugar to it. Okay, now I'm getting soft peaks. It's not quite there yet. I thought I had cream of tartar. You can put cream of tartar in this, but I have meringue powder. You can buy it at Walmart or anywhere they sell cake supplies. And instead of the cream of tartar, I'm going to use the meringue powder. I'm going to start off with a half teaspoon. Okay, but I'm going to mix it just a little bit more before I... What the meringue powder does, it will keep these egg whites from weeping. They'll hold their shape, they'll get stiff, and they won't... If you've ever noticed, sometimes when you look, somebody makes a pie and they put meringue on the top, it'll shrink down and look watery sometimes around the edge. Well, that's what this will keep it from doing. Okay, it looks like it's getting kind of there, but not quite yet. I think it's there. Y'all see that? Aren't they pretty? Okay, I'll bring you back over here and I'll show you how I'm going to put them on the banana pudding. Here's our pudding. here's our beautiful meringue. I'm going to put it on top of the pudding. Now, if I had used 5 eggs, well, I'd have had a lot more meringue, but I think this will be enough for this size of a pudding. I love meringue. That's, to me, the best part of the whole thing. But I put probably about a half a cup of sugar, or to taste. You can taste it and see how sweet you want it. I didn't want it too sweet. It's between 1/4 cup and a half a cup of sugar. And then your meringue powder was a half a teaspoon. And 4 egg whites, if you remember. And whip them up. They look good. They done really good. I'm going to spread this out on the top of this pudding and try to make it look pretty. All the way to the ends. Now, if I was going to make this for a party or like for a holiday, I would double this recipe. I would fill it all the way up to the top of this bowl with lots more in it and take a little bit more time with it. But since it's just for me and Howard, I can't see doing all that. You can make it as pretty as you like it. Kind of swirling it a little bit, make it a little bit prettier. I'm going to put this in the oven and cook my meringue a little bit. Because this is raw egg whites, you know. And it'll make it sit up better, but I'm going to put me some cookies around the side. Hey, gotta taste that. Mmm. It's good. I can tell you it's very good. Now this is the way my mama always did it. She always put extra cookies around the side to make it prettier. And she had, like I say, she had an old pottery bowl. What do they call it? Kind you put in the oven. She made hers in. And we called it the banana pudding bowl. I don't know whatever happened to that. I would have loved to have that. After she used it for so many years, I think it ended up with a crack, and she quit using it. I want me to have to sacrifice that cookie. That cookie took one for the cause. And I think she might have quit using it, because after I got married, it just went away. I got married really, really young. When I got married, I didn't know how to cook anything. All I knew how to do was fry eggs. I fried eggs for breakfast, eggs for supper, eggs for everything. And finally, Howard says, I can't eat any more eggs. Well, I was just a kid, and I lived 300 miles away from any family. And finally, a lot of these older people around here, especially this one friend of mine, her name was Beth, and she was from the north. She was a Yankee, and I loved her. She taught me a lot. How to save money, how to cook her way. And then I had a lot of these older people around here that were, they were seniors in their 60s and 70s. They taught me how to do a lot of other stuff. And that's where I learned most of what I do. So I'm going to stick this in the oven, and I'll bring it out as soon as it starts to brown a little bit on the top. Now, what do y'all think of that? Does that not look good? I think Howard's going to really like it. I'm going to let it cool off. And then I'll dip up some for him, and I'll let him taste test it. But I tasted every part of it as I was making it, and let me tell you something, it's really, really good. So y'all try this. This is very easy. You can make it. I hadn't hardly been in here any time, and it's easy to make. Anybody could do it. All you got to do is follow the directions. And the directions will be in the description box. And if you could, do me a favor. Like, subscribe, and share my movies. That's the way you can really help me out a lot. I've enjoyed making these movies, and I want to keep making them. And if you could do that, it encourages me to make more. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for watching me. This is Melita'S Homemade. God bless, and we love y'all.